Respected CEO Sir S.L. Gupta, Director Amita Prasad, parents, colleagues, and my dear students, it is immensely pleasing to have you for company at the prize distribution of our 5-day long virtual inter-house fest Sangam-The Confluence 2021, thrown open to all students from grades 6 to 9. As the name suggests, we sincerely hope it has served as an interesting blend of creativity and talent, strengthened with the true spirit of collaboration, teamwork, and an undying sense of belonging to all the members of the four houses Brahmaputra, Indus, Ganga, and Yamuna. Dear students, although many a time our performance is inspired by its competitive nature, but neither winning nor losing should be so overwhelming that we deduce our self worth only on comparisons and competitions. Winning or losing is a part of life. They are the two sides of the same coin. In fact, we actually owe a great deal to the loser, for without a loser, there cannot be a winner. In the present Olympic season, it is only fair to quote the father of the modern Olympics, Pierre de Coubertin. He had pointed out to two contending parties that the most important thing in the Olympic Games is not winning but taking part. The essential thing in life is not conquering but fighting well. We sincerely hope through Sangam we have been able to rekindle the values of empathy, compassion, fellow feeling, and integrity in all of you. I extend warm and hearty congratulations to each of you for successfully completing the event, upholding the house loyalty with such heartening enthusiasm. We hope you have enjoyed as much as we have. My deepest gratitude to all the esteemed judges and to our incredibly committed colleagues, ably led by our Dean of Arts, Ms. Priyadarshini Guha. I'm sure you're waiting with bated breath for the results to be declared. So without much ado, over to Ms. Guha to elaborate upon the proceedings of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Reshma Bhattacharya, our principal, for those lovely words of encouragement for our children. It has indeed been an amazing time that we have spent in the last 5 days. Sangam, the confluence, began as a dream for all of us at Indus Valley World School last year. We never thought that the pandemic would last so long, but it seems as of now that it's never ending. But let's hope that there is light at the end of the tunnel very soon. However, it gives me great pleasure to tell all of you at this award ceremony that this year, in its second year, Sangam the Confluence has seen a record number of participants. Over 990 children have participated wholeheartedly and with tremendous enthusiasm over the last 4 days. We have had an eminent panel of judges who have given of their precious time and come forward to judge all the entries that we received for the 30 events that were spanned out over the last 4 days. And now it is that very, very special moment that all of us at Indus Valley World School have been waiting for. I am sure all our students, our teachers, and definitely the parents of our students who have been behind the scene encouraging their children will be waiting with bated breath to see the results unfold. So, without much ado, I now present the awards for Sangam the Confluence 2021. We will begin our presentation with the prizes for the students from grades 6 and 7. That was the junior level at Sangam. The first prizes are for creative writing in English. Our judge was Miss Mamlu Chatterjee, and she enthusiastically gave out the prizes for this event, sitting far away in Malaysia. She wanted to be a part of Sangam, so here are the prizes. In first position, we have Samidha Shraddha Raut of 7D from Brahmaputra House. We have a joint second, so that position is held by Unurupa Deb of 7B from Yamuna House, and she is joined by Tonirika Guho Roy from 7G of Indus House. And in third position, we have Rudraksh Sengupta of 6B from Ganga. From this year, we requested the judges to introduce the Judges' Choice Award. And some of the judges said that maybe the child did not place in the first, second, or third position. However, their writing or their dance or their music impressed the judges so much that they wanted to give that child a special appreciation. So, in creative writing in English for grades 6 and 7, the Judges' Choice Award goes to Srishtha Das from 6F of Brahmaputra House. Moving on, we now have the next set of awards. The next set of prizes are for creative writing in Hindi. Our judge was Miss Sangeeta Sangvi. She is the head of the department at the Shushila Birla Girls School, and she also gave off from her precious time to be the judge for Hindi creative writing. The prizes go to first position, we have Sata Dhruash from 7C Brahmaputra. In second position, we have Shreyanshi Brahmachari of 6B from Brahmaputra. And we have a joint third in Samidha Shraddha Raut of 7D from Brahmaputra and Priyadarshini Panda of 6B from Indus. Our next set of prizes. But before that, let us hear what our judge for the Bengali event, Miss Unurupa Das, had to say. She said, ছেলেমেয়েরা সত্যিই খুব সুন্দর লিখেছে। কিছু লেখা দেখে আমি অবাক হয়ে গেছি। আমার ইচ্ছে করছিল সকলকে পুরস্কার দিতে। খুব আনন্দ পেলাম লেখাগুলি দেখে। Now we look at the prize winners. So, creative writing Bengali, in first position we have Iftikarul Haq of 6C Yamuna. In second position we have Ohuna Chattopadhyay of 7B from Ganga. In third position we have Shinjan Sinha of 6E from Ganga, and Miss Das gave 2 Judges' Choice Awards to Sharthak Dotto of 6C from Ganga House and Aratrika Ghotok of 7A from Yamuna House. Coming up, the next set of prizes. But before that, we would like to hear from our judge, Mr. Zahid Hussain. Mr. Zahid Hussain, who is a stage artist and the Dastan Goi, has always taken immense pleasure in judging the events at Sangam. This year, he took on the responsibility of judging not only the English elocution, but also the Hindi storytelling. And let's hear what Mr. Hussain had to share with our children.
Hello and a very good day to everyone. A very big thank you to the school and Priyadarshini ma'am for letting me be a part of this event once again. It was such an enjoyable experience to see such active participation from both the classes. All the poems and stories that were selected were very well narrated and very well chosen. Some of the poems by Shel Silverstein are among my favorites too. However, I would like to point out that there was this one word that was mispronounced by 2 students. The word is grocery, not grocery. And the Hindi storytelling, yes, it was very well balanced, especially the music part. And I remember there was this one entry which had a very good pictorial presentation which ran simultaneously with the live narration. My only advice to all the students would be to take grammar seriously, क्योंकि व्याकरण ही जो है वो किसी भाषा को बनाती है या बिगाड़ती है. And with that, I would like to conclude my speech by saying thank you and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hussain. I'm sure our children will remember your advice and that will enhance their performance for next year. Coming up, the prizes for English elocution. For English elocution, the first position was grabbed by Adrita Shaha from 7G Brahmaputra House. We had a joint second between Arjui Bhattacharjee of 6F from Brahmaputra and Aratrika Ghotok of 7A from Yamuna. And in third position, we had Shreyashit Doitari of 6A from Ganga. Mr. Hussain judged Hindi storytelling and he said their performance was amazing and the stories were so very well chosen. Again, the first position was grabbed by Adrita Shaha of 7G from Brahmaputra House. The second position went to Vivan Bhagwat of 7B from Yamuna. The third position was grabbed by Kanishk Singh of 6A from Indus. Mr. Hussain decided to give the Judges' Choice Award to Sanvi Singh from 7C of Brahmaputra House. Next, we have the prizes for Bengali storytelling. It was judged by the stage artist Manush Mukherjee. In first position, we had Rishika Das from 7F of Brahmaputra House. In second position, Aratrika Ghotok of 7A from Yamuna House. In third position, we have Adrita Shaha of 7G from Brahmaputra House. And Mr. Mukherjee gave the Judges' Choice Prize to Abhinav Bose of 7F from Brahmaputra House. The next set of prizes. This was an event that was held amidst a lot of excitement and fanfare just yesterday on Google Meet, and we now present the prizes for Spell Bee for grades 6 and 7. The third position was grabbed by Brahmaputra House. The four participants of Brahmaputra were Ishan Paul of 6A, Sanvi Singh of 7C, Siddharth Das of 6E, and Samidha Shraddha Raut from 7D. We had the second position seeing a tie. So the tie was between Ganga House, and that house was represented by Shreyoshi Doitari of 6A, Sarthak Datta of 6C, Sumedha Mukherjee of 7D, and Gaurav Sharma of 7F. The house that tied with Ganga was Yamuna. Yamuna House was represented by Prarthana Mukherjee of 6B, Asnigdha Thakur of 6E, Onurupa Deb of 7B, and Sheikh Mohammad Tehseen of 7F. And taking away the first position in a nail-biting finish with a difference of only 5 marks was Indus House, led by Debushmita Ghosh of 6D, Pratyasha Biswas of 6D, Abhilasha Goswami of 7E, and Tonirika Guhoroy of 7G. The next set of awards. But before we go to that, we now present the judges speak. Mr. Orpun Das, an artist of repute, had this to say about our amazing artists at Indus Valley World School. The budding artists of IVWS are astonishingly talented. It was really a hard choice to make for me. I believe the two, creative thinking and skill, go hand in hand in fine arts, and while judging, I tried to keep this in mind. Mr. Das judged the art on newspaper in both the junior and the senior level. Let's see his prizes. Mr. Das was very, very generous and he said it was tough for him to choose. So we have a bouquet of prizes for art on newspaper. In first position, we have Shubhangini Das of 7E from Yamuna, joined by Diksha Dalal of 7F from Ganga. In second position, we have Shriya Mukherjee of 7C from Indus. There's a tie in the third position between Sanvi Singh of 7C from Brahmaputra and Odrija Kundu from 7G, also from Brahmaputra. Two Judges' Choice Prizes go out to Debushmita Ghosh of 6D from Indus and Rishika Das from 7A of Brahmaputra. Coming up next, we have the prizes for mask making. The children received the topic on the spot and they did a stellar job. Our judge said he also found it very, very difficult to choose the winners. So we have a tie in all three positions. In first position, we have Abhinav Bose of 7F from Brahmaputra, joined by his friend Sarthak Datta from 6C of Ganga. In second position, we have Sanvi Singh from 7C of Brahmaputra, joined by Diksha Dalal of 7F from Ganga. And joint winners in the third position are Aratrika Mohanty of 6F from Indus and Abhiraj Nath of 7F from Yamuna. Mr. Nondi decided to give the Judge's Choice Prize to Shreyan Ghosh from 7F of Indus House. Before we move to announcing the prizes for music, let's hear what Mr. Shubham Kanjilal, our judge for singing, had to say. The overall experience was very invigorating and encouraging at the same time. It was very refreshing to watch and listen to such talented students. All the participants had their own style of singing, and my suggestion would be to nurture their own unique styles of singing further. So, the prizes for singing in classes 6 and 7. The prizes go to Aratrika Ghotok in first position from 7A of Yamuna. Shubhangini Das grabs the second position from 7E in Yamuna. And the third position goes to Unnob De of 6A Indus. Mr. Kanjilal's choice for the Judge's Choice Award goes to Sreyoshi Das of 7G Yamuna House. Now we come to folk dance. Miss Ramyani Roy, possibly the greatest Kathakali exponent among women in Calcutta, had a very tough time choosing the prizes, and she also was extremely generous in making her choices. So as you can see, we have an array of prizes for folk dance. So first position jointly held by Pratasha Biswas of 6D from Indus and Aratrika Mohanty of 7F, also from Indus. In second position, we have a trio. There's Ditya Chaudhary from 6A Brahmaputra, joined by Mehek Badlani of 7A Yamuna and Tonirika Guhuroy from 7G Indus. And the third position goes to Ohana Chattopadhyay of 7B Ganga, joined by Yukti Joshi of 6D Brahmaputra House. Let us now hear from our graphic designer, Miss Virajita Todi, about what she had to say looking at the digital poster making event.
I was very happy to see the designs put together by the students for the digital poster making event. I think they have a lot of potential, and with a little bit of time and effort put into studying good design, they will really be able to develop their skills. I would like to congratulate every participant for what they have achieved, and I really hope that they pursue their interest in design, and I wish them all the very best for the future.
The prizes for digital poster making. First position was taken by Rishika Das from 7F Brahmaputra. Second position went to Siddharth Das of 7E Brahmaputra. Third position went to Debushmita Ghosh from 6D Indus. And Miss Todi's choice for the Judges Award went to Aditi Thakur of 6A from Indus House. Then we come to the event that possibly saw the maximum number of participation. This category in the junior section saw nearly 75 entries from classes 6 and 7. We are truly astounded and amazed by the array of talent that our children have. That's why Miss Pathak said that she was nearly about to go to hospital, seeing so many amazing photographs that it really was so tough for her to make up her mind. So let's see what she had to say. In first position, there's a tie between Udrija Kundu of 7G from Brahmaputra House with Shoham Ghosh from 6E of Yamuna. There's a trio in the second position. Siddharth Das of 6C Brahmaputra is joined by Abhinav Bose from 7F Brahmaputra and Rishika Das from 7F Brahmaputra. I think Brahmaputra House decided they would sweep the second position. And in third place, we have a tie between Devushmita Ghosh of 6D from Indus and Janisha Ghosh Dostidar of 6E from Ganga. That brings us to the end of the awards for the junior level, that is for the prize winners from grades 6 and 7. Before we move to the senior level, we will now hear from one of our judges who, as I said, is sitting far away in Malaysia. But that did not deter her in any way to want to reach out to the children at IVWS and share her thoughts. So I present to you Miss Mamlu Chatterjee.
Hello, children. I love reading, and I have to say a big thank you for giving me such a lot of stories to read. The last 2 days flew past while I traveled with you to haunted houses and malls and Newcastle, meeting your friends, real and imaginary. It is quite clear to me that you're a very talented lot of children, sensitive to your surroundings and aware of life around you. These are wonderful qualities and will ensure that you notice ordinary things and are able to spin a tale out of it. Kindness and generosity is also obviously very important to you all, as is apparent from several of the stories, and it left me with a lovely feeling of hope and optimism, so needed in today's world. I would urge you all to read as much as you can, because the more you read, the better your writing will be. Jot down anything that catches your attention on your phones or in a notebook if you prefer. You can go back to it and write around it at a later stage. Please pay a lot of attention to grammar. Wonderful imaginative writing can be destroyed by bad grammar. It is a very powerful tool in the world of writing, believe me. As much as possible, remain authentic in your story. When you describe a city or a festival, it is easier to describe one that you have actually seen rather than one that you saw in a film, right? The same goes for places, people, and things. Write about what you know, what you've seen, what you've tasted and smelled. Yet, don't forget to make friends with your imagination. A big congratulations to the winners. Please continue to write, observe, and feel. And for all of you who participated, an even bigger congratulations. The world needs storytellers just like you. Thank you again. It was a wonderful experience for me.
So after hearing Miss Chatterjee's words, we now present her judgment for creative writing in English for grades 8 and 9. First position, we have Amrita Das Gupta of 9D from Brahmaputra. In second position, there's a tie, and the tie is between Anurag Upadhyay of 9C from Brahmaputra and Aditi Barbora of 8A from Yamuna. There's a tie also in the third position between Kuninika Boshak of 9E, Ganga, and Riddhi Ghosh of 9B, Brahmaputra. Miss Chatterjee made a special mention of the piece written by Ajita Shaila Danda, so she receives the judge's choice from 8A, Brahmaputra House. The next set of prizes are for Bengali creative writing from students of grades 8 and 9. We had Miss Anurupa Das judging them. In first position, we have Sharonna Ghoshal of 8F, Yamuna House. In second position, we have Utsho Ray from 9C, Yamuna. And in third position, we have Aratrika Chakraborty of 9C from Brahmaputra. The Judges' Choice Awards go to Shorudeep Bhattacharjee of 9D, Yamuna, and he is joined by Irina Topdar of 8F from Ganga House. The prizes now for creative writing in Hindi. Our judge was Ms. Sangvi, who also judged the junior level. In first position, we have Harmeet Walia of 9E from Ganga. Second position, it's Sarvesh D. Hulani from 9D Indus. And in third position, we have Sachi Tiwari from 9B Brahmaputra. Special mention was made for Ashutosh Sarangi, who gets the Judges' Choice Award in from 9C Brahmaputra House. Now we have the results of another event that was held live on Google Meet. We had two esteemed judges with us, Miss Piali Ray, who is a diction coach and a former teacher from Calcutta International School. We have a topper of the ISC exams, Suhasini Das Guptu, and also a topper from Miranda House, Delhi University. She was an ace debater in school, in college, and in university, and she joined Miss Ray to judge the finals. First position went to Shraddha Gupta of 8G Brahmaputra. Second position saw a tie between Ajita Shaila Danda of 8A Brahmaputra and Indrakshi Ghosh of 8G Ganga. And the third position went to Srijoy Paul of 8B Ganga House. The results now for Art on Newspaper by Mr. Orpun Das. There's a joint first between Madhupi Bhaumik of 9F Yamuna and Masumi Patel of 8B Indus. Joint second between Abhilasha Chaudhary of 9F Indus and Sachi Tiwari of 9B Brahmaputra. The third position goes to Shruti Agarwal of 8C Indus and Harmeet Walia of 9E Ganga. Mr. Das wanted to give Judges' Choice Prizes to 4 students. He was so taken up by their talent. So we have Anushruti Dasgupta of 9D from Yamuna, Yagasini Loshkor of 9E Brahmaputra, Rajnandini Gupta of 8C Yamuna, and Shomangshi Kundu of 8C Yamuna House. Now we come to the logo designing event, which was judged by Ms. Priyanjali Pal. She is a communications designer and she was also completely thrown by the amazing work that our children did. The first position was taken away by Ankit Pradeep of 9C Brahmaputra. The second position went to Ryan Roy of 9D Brahmaputra. And the third position was bagged by Shanundit Khoni of 8E Indus. Now, the event, which was the last event held yesterday, and this was the quiz, which saw tremendous excitement among the participants. The third position was grabbed by Yamuna House in a nail biting finish. The participants were Aditi Barbora of 8A, Noirit Banerjee of 8F, Rishikesh Nyogi of 9D, and Samara Raj Tiwari of 9E. The second position saw a tie. The tie was between Brahmaputra House, which was led by Ajita Shaila Danda of 8A, Angelina Das of 8G, Anurag Upadhyay of 9C, and Ryan Roy from 9D. They were joined by Indus with the same score, led by Prisha Shannal from 8A, Arush Patel from 8B, Aryaman Mukhopadhyay from 9A, and Sarvesh D. Hulani from 9D. Taking away the quiz was Ganga House, represented by Monali Pal of 8D, Indrakshi Ghosh of 8G, Aryan B. Parida from 9E, and Orkayu Bera from 9D. The singing of the senior level was also judged by Mr. Shubham Kanjilal. So the first position went to Akanksha Chaudhary from 8A Yamuna House. The second position went to Srishti Dash from 8E Brahmaputra, and the third position went to Shomadip Das from 8G Yamuna. The Judges' Choice Award went to Shayantani Bhaumik of 9E from Indus House. Before we look at the prizes for the instrumental music, we had the star celebrity judge in Mr. Gaurav Chatterjee, the famous drummer and percussionist, and he was delighted seeing the work of our children. So he said, "Thank you for inviting me to judge these events. It was a pleasure to witness the performances by these youngsters. Some of them are really amazing, and at such a young age, they show a lot of promise. So the instrumentalists at IVWS, it's way to go for you. Coming up, Mr. Chatterjee's prizes. Instrumental music for guitar percussion. First position, Dhiman Dam of 9A. Second position, Soham Biswas of 8E. And third position, Debujit Shaha of 9D. This event saw a clean sweep by Brahmaputra House as all three participants were from the same house. Now coming up, the results for instrumental music, keyboard playing. First position, Srijato Banerjee of 8C Yamuna. Second position, Ankit Pradeep 9C Brahmaputra. Third position, Atre Pradhan 9B Yamuna. And the Judge's Choice Prize went to Sneha Chakraborty of 8C Brahmaputra. We now will hear from one of the exponents of Manipuri dance, Miss Suman Saraugi, as she has kindly been a part of Sangam-The Confluence from its inception year. So Miss Saraugi wanted to share her thoughts with the students of IVWS.
Good morning. I would like to thank the Indus Valley School, Priyadarshini ma'am and Amita ma'am for always being there and giving me an opportunity to be a part of this beautiful festival, Sangam. I would also like to congratulate all the children who have made this festival a success. By just participating and being there, you all have made this festival a success. It has been very difficult for all of us during this 1.5 years during the pandemic to keep ourselves motivated, to continue going on. I would like to say a special thank you to the teachers for keeping the children motivated, for coming up with different ideas to continue the work that you all are doing. And of course, to the children who have been taking this so bravely, being at home, learning, continuing their festivals, continuing dancing is the only way that will see us through this pandemic. I know this will pass and we have to continue going on with it. It was a pleasure being a part of this festival, and seeing all the children dance was a treat. All of you all did really well, but yet some are a winner and some are not. But that does not mean you all are not good. Every one of you were really good. Keep going on, keep doing good work, and all the best to all of you. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Suman ma'am is always very generous with her time and her words. And Suman, may you continue to be with us in this journey of exploring creativity and imagination. We now look at the prizes for dance. First position was bagged by Yagyasini Loshkor of 9E Brahmaputra. The second position went to Sachi Tiwari of 9B Brahmaputra. The third position went to Arshia Talukdar of 8A Indus. And Miss Saraugi had a special word of appreciation for Arush Patel. She said, I really hope in the future more boys come forward and take to dance, because this is something that they can also be extremely good at. So, Arush, way to go for you. Arush is from Indus House 8B. We now see the other event in Sangam-The Confluence, which saw tremendous participation. That's photography among the students of 8 and 9. Mr. Dipru Biswas said, it was my pleasure to judge this beautiful photography event. I was so glad to see so many amazing photographs, and it was very hard for me to choose the winning photographs from among them. So the results from Mr. Biswas are: joint first shared between Srija Sanyal of 8D from Brahmaputra and Arush Patel from 8B Indus. Joint second shared between Kuninika Boshak of 9E Ganga and Rishikesh Nyogi from 9D Yamuna. And joint third shared between Aditi Barbora of 8A Yamuna and Shraddha Gupta of 8G Brahmaputra. Dipro sir wanted to give Judges' Choice prizes to the following 4 children: So, special recognition of the photographs of Prachi Das from 9C Yamuna, Stotru Ghosh Mondol from 9F Indus, Arpan Bhattacharjee of 8D Indus, and Sneha Chakraborty of 8C Brahmaputra. We now come to the results of 1 minute filmmaking. Here also, when I spoke to Mr. Patnaik, that's what he had to say. He said they were just outstanding films coming from students so young. Joint first shared between Rahul Das of 9A Ganga and Yagyasini Loshkar of 9E Brahmaputra. Three people grabs the second position: Ankit Hazarika of 9A Ganga, Indrakshi Ghosh 8G Ganga, and Konkuna Das 9B Indus. And a joint third shared between Ishan De of 8D Ganga and Vanshika Singh of 8A Indus. The Judges' Choice Awards went to Udrija Chakraborty from 8C Brahmaputra, Shagnik Chaudhary from 8F Ganga, and Shruti Jha from 8D Yamuna House. The ad jingle event was judged by Rishlin Bajaj. She's a creative writer and an artist of repute, now making forays in Bombay. The first position went to Rahul Das of 9A Ganga. Second position went to Indrakshi Ghosh of 8G Ganga. And the third position went to Sarvesh D. Hulani of 9D Indus. That brings us to the end of the huge array of prizes that we had for our students in Sangam-The Confluence 2021. And it is my proud privilege to hand over to our director, Mrs. Amita Prasad.
Dear children, it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks as we bring down the curtains on Sangam 2021. It has been a week of excitement and fun, and at the same time, a lot of learning. Learning to be gracious in victory and to take disappointment in your stride is perhaps a life lesson more valuable than what you will learn in your physics or mathematics or geography classes. We are delighted that even while you all are at home, you have been able to participate in a host of creative pursuits. This was possible only because of the support and encouragement of your parents. We are thankful to all your parents who share our philosophy that the arts form an integral part of education and contribute enormously to the holistic development of the children. I would like to place on record my gratitude to our management. They are extremely supportive of all our endeavors. I wish to thank our principal, Mrs. Reshma Bhattacharya, and our head of middle school, Mrs. Shogata Banerjee, for their valuable inputs when we were planning Sangam 2021. An event on this scale is possible only thanks to team effort. And I am most grateful to our team of extremely committed teachers who spared no effort to ensure that everything went smoothly, even in this remote format. Special mention must be made of Kaushik sir, who has been silently working behind the scenes to attend to all kinds of little details, including compiling the daily updates of scores and putting together today's prize distribution ceremony. I would also like to acknowledge the contribution of our IT department, Kohinoor sir, Bhagwan, and Shojol, without him, whom no online program would be possible. And a special mention goes to Dipanita from the help desk, who has painstakingly helped with all the e-certificates, going beyond the call of duty to lend us a helping hand. To all our esteemed judges, thank you for making time for our children in the midst of your busy schedules. Your good wishes, encouragement, and valuable suggestions have made Sangam a huge learning experience for our students. We feel blessed to be surrounded by such well wishers. And finally, words fail me as I try to express my appreciation to Priyadarshini ma'am. She has been the captain of the ship, steering it all. I really don't know how she has managed it all. In the middle of all her multifarious responsibilities, she has attended to every detail, looked into all aspects of the programs to ensure that it meets with her very high and exacting standards of perfection. Thank you, ma'am. The inaugural edition of Sangam last year was a great success, but with each year, you seem to raise the bar. Let us all look forward to Sangam 2022 and hope and pray that we will be there in the school auditorium for the next award ceremony in the midst of a thunderous cheering of the students as Priyadarshini ma'am announces the final scores. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those words of encouragement. You being there behind us, supporting everything that we do, makes it possible. We have sleepless nights and we want to do the best only for our students so that they have a wonderful time. And I'm sure they will carry the memories of these experiences forever. Kaushik sir, I think it's now time for us to share the final results, which everyone has been waiting with bated breath for over the last 1 week. And there we have it. In fourth position, giving a mighty fight right through the fest, we have Indus House with 115 points. A close battle to the finish where Ganga House is just 15 points away from Yamuna. So Ganga bagging the third position with 130 points. Yamuna House with 145 points. But let me say this now. What better time to say this? Brahmaputra House this year took off to such a flying start as the results poured in that we didn't know where to look. Where the other houses were still struggling to get a foothold, Brahmaputra had already crossed and made a half century. And thereafter, no one could stop their lead. So the champion house of Sangam, the Confluence 2021 is Brahmaputra House. Everyone sitting out there, please cheer loudly for all your peers and all the participants of not only Brahmaputra House, which is the champion, but also for all the participants from Ganga, Indus, and Yamuna houses. We are delighted, but there is a tinge of sadness as we have to now draw the curtains on Sangam, the Confluence 2021. But as they say, we will wait now and start planning for Sangam, the Confluence 2022. And God willing, as they say, inshallah, we will meet in our amazing school auditorium for Sangam 2022. Thank you so much.